Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm host Name, and today we're unpacking the biggest tech moves from September 25, 2025, a landmark Nvidia OpenAI infrastructure and investment pact, Apple pushing back on Europe's DMA, and more high-impact stories shaping AI, chips, and regulation. Stay tuned, we'll break down who benefits, who's at risk, and what to watch next. If you like clear, fast tech updates, hit like and subscribe. Let's get into it. First up, Nvidia and OpenAI. Big headline. Nvidia and OpenAI signed a letter of intent for a multi-year strategic partnership that could see Nvidia supply hardware for at least 10 gigawatts of AI data center capacity, and Nvidia may invest up to $100 billion in OpenAI as that capacity comes online. The deal targets the first gigawatt in H2 2026 on Nvidia's Vera Rubin platform. For Nvidia, this locks massive GPU demand and a long-term revenue stream. For OpenAI, it secures dedicated infrastructure and capital to scale frontier models. But it raises questions about concentration. One chip maker effectively financing and supplying the leading model developer, and the geopolitical and energy implications are huge. Stay tuned for how cloud partners respond. Next, Apple's pushback on the EU's Digital Markets Act. Apple told EU regulators to repeal or substantially revise the Digital Markets Act, claiming the rules slow feature rollouts, undermine security by forcing openness like sideloading in alternative app stores, and risk a poorer user experience across Apple devices in Europe. Apple even warned it could stop shipping certain products or services in the EU if the law remains unchanged. Regulators are already reviewing DMA effectiveness amid rapid AI change, so this could spark a major policy showdown between a dominant platform and European authorities over consumer choice, security, and competition. Next up, more stories shaping the tech landscape today. This slot is reserved for Story 3. I have a summary and sources pending from your list, paste them, and I'll write the script, visuals, and metadata to match. Meanwhile, the themes we'll cover later include AI regulation, cloud competition, major layoffs, or product launches depending on what you provide. Next, we'll move on after you share the source. This segment is a placeholder for Story 4. I need your summary and source link to craft a concise 30-45-second script, cinematic image prompt, and SEO metadata. Send the details and I'll slot it in immediately. Up next after your input, the fourth story you provide. Reserved for Story 5. I don't yet have the summary or source link for this item from your list. Share the reporting and I'll deliver a tight explainer with context, implications, and a cinematic image brief. Up next, once provided, I'll lay out the details. This is a placeholder for Story 6 awaiting your source. Once you send the summary and link, I'll produce the 35-second script, visuals, and metadata. Ready when you are, send the next article and I'll slot it into the episode. Coming up, the next confirmed story after we get your source. Story 7 is waiting on your source. Provide the article and I'll craft the script, cinematic image prompt, and SEO tags. I'll tie the piece into the broader episode so transitions stay smooth. Next up, your supplied story will appear here. Reserved for Story 8. I'm missing the item and its citation from your compilation. Share the content, and I'll prepare the full, polished segment with a cinematic image brief and metadata. Once provided, I'll connect it smoothly to the prior story. This ninth slot is empty until you provide the summary and source. Drop the link and I'll write a concise explainer with relevant context, likely impacts, and a cinematic image direction. After that, we'll wrap into the final story. Ready for your source? Final story slot. I don't yet have the 10th item from your list. Send the final summary and citation, and I'll finalize the episode, including a tight transition to our outro and a call to action. Looking forward to your last source. That's our roundup for today. A massive Nvidia OpenAI partnership and a high-stakes Apple pushback in Europe. If you want deeper dives on any of these topics, drop a comment with which story you want expanded and I'll follow up. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss updates as more sources arrive. I'll update this episode as you send the remaining stories. Thanks for watching. See you next time.